afternoon, everybody. Lou Boudreau with the leadoff man from Wrigley Field. Today it's going to be the New York Mets against the Chicago Cubs. Dale Lutzer, left-hander from Decatur, Illinois, getting set to move into the batter's box, and he's been having quite a go of it lately. Well, his batting average up to .296 with 25 hits in his last 59 at-bats. And the first pitch, and he takes the ball. Looked like he had a notion about it. Eddie Ells. Third, Joe Pignatano in the coach's box at first. Ray Burris into the windup. Hunter swings, and he lets a high pop-up. Davey Rosello on the outfield grass behind third in fair territory. He's under it, and he almost bobbled the ball, but squeezed it for the out. That'll bring up the veteran Felix Millan. He has not missed a ball game this year. There's 183 more hits, or 83 hits for this year, and he just needs 2 more to tie his own club record. He's batting .282 for the year with a homer and 53 runs batted in. Burr shooting for his 6th straight win. Went the distance against the Mets his last outing there in New York last week, and he misses a little low with a fastball, ball 1. Beat the Mets by a score of 5-2, and his mound opponent, Craig Swan, is pitching for him today. There's a fastball for a strike at the belt. Got a quartering wind here today coming in from the right field corner. Pretty bright blue sky, a beautiful, beautiful September afternoon. Here's the windup by Ray, and the pitch to Millan is a little low, ball 2, strike 1. Monday very shallow in center field and straight away. Cardinal is back pretty deep in left. Morales shallow in right field. 2-1 delivery. Millan takes. It's a low ball. Ball 3, strike 1. Ray in his last 18 innings has struck out 10 men and walked nobody. But he is 1 pitch away from walking Felix Millan here. 3-1 pitch. Millan takes a strike. He chokes up in the bat about a foot. Crouches at the plate. Full count on him now. And here's the windup in the pitch. Swung on a bouncing ball. Kessinger grabs it near the back of third. The long throw to Andy Thornton in time. And Millan is retired. Grounder to third brings up the rookie Mike Vail. Had a good go, but since they brought him up from their top farm club at Tidewater, this right-hander hitting .313 with 42 base hits. 8 of them doubles, 1 triple, 3 homers. Struck out about, every 6 times up. 26 strikeouts and 7 walks. Right-hander takes, and the first pitch is a strike. Burris in his 2nd full year in the majors. There's a strike call. Smooth delivery by the big right-hander. Last 2 games, he has gone the distance. There's a swing on a slider and a tap foul that rolls over near the Mets dugout on the first base side. Could be grabbed over there by the old trombonist, Carmen Franzone, who's visiting out at the ballpark today. Dropped in from Hawaii, I guess. There's a swing and a hard shot deep to right field. Morales back near the warning track. He reaches up, he grabs it for the out, and that retires the Mets in order. Vail with a hard drive the opposite side, so it's 1-2-3, and the Cubs come to bat against right-hander Craig Swan with Kessinger, Monday, and Morales to bat against him after a half-inning no score. Don Kessinger, since he's replaced Matlock at third base, has really found his hitting eye. On the recent road trip just concluded at New York and Montreal, Don came to bat officially 19 times, had 9 base hits. A lusty .474 batting average. So it's brought his mark up for the season from under the .240 mark to .246. And he's batted in 46 runs this year. Scored 73 runs. The guy who's tallied the most runs for the Cubs this year is Rick Monday. Moves into the on-deck circle. Rick has scored 86 runs. Cardinal second with 83. Swan, a burly, thick-chested right-hander, was 13-7 at Tidewater this year. He's 1-3 with the Mets and 0-1 against the Cubs. He went 6 innings against the Cubs. Lost to Ray Burris there at New York Wednesday night. Fires a fastball, and it's in for a strike. His earned run average for 29 innings this year is 4.97. Wind up and the pitch inside with the fastball, 1-1. Mike Vail, the rookie in left field, still doing a few calisthenics. Get loosened up out there, and he's guarding the left field line. Swan delivers. Led up, swung on, and he pulls that one into right field. Ground ball single, and Kessinger opens up with a base hit. That'll bring up Rick Monday. Down now with 10 hits in his last 20 at-bats, an even 500 mark. Monday batting .274 with 17 home runs. He leads the Cubs. 60 runs batted in for him. The guy in the on-deck circle now is the RBI leader in the ball club, Jerry Morales, with 90. Cranepool, the veteran at first base, will be holding Kessinger on. And Meehan is shaded a bit up the middle. They don't figure Monday's going to pull a fastball away from him. Takes that fastball. It's outside for ball 1. Tom Seaver is scheduled to pitch for the Mets here tomorrow. He'll be shooting for his 22nd win of the year. And he's also shooting this year for the Cy Young Award. Here's a swing and a foul ball back out of play. Seaver with a mark at 21-9. Randy Jones, young man with the San Diego Padres, is slated to go after his 20th win tonight. Randy Jones, 19-9 with San Diego. And he, too, has to be considered a strong candidate for that Cy Young Award. 1-1 delivery. He cut a piece of it, fouled it back up onto the screen. Ball 1, strike 2 on Monday. One and 2 on Rick. Senior Citizens Day. 1-2 pitch. That's up too high. Ball 2, strike 2. Well, you know that somewhere in the crowd is Wally Phillips. Crutches and all.
What do you mean and all?
Toupee and the crutches. Yeah. There's a pitch, sway, well hit drive, left field, but it's going to be caught by Vail. He's there, and he grabs it. You imagine that ridiculous story of his. Says that he hurt himself playing tennis.
He fell out of a rocket.
He was trying to tell somebody, I think at Abe Gibbons' birthday party the other night, that he pulled a muscle. How can you pull a muscle when you don't have any?
Only exercise he does is flexing the fingers, pointing at the poor engineer sitting across the way to put the needle down on the record.
Speaking of needles, I guess he's back on that too.
Oh, never's given it up.
Here's Morales, and he drops him under the third base side. Swan, a bare head pickup, drops the ball. Morales will be safe, and Kessinger's on at second. They'll credit Jerry with a bunt single. And a beauty. Oh, with one out. That for Jerry is his 152nd base hit this year. Here's Jose batting .316. He's up among the league leaders. But the guy who's going to capture the batting championship in the National League, Bill Matlock, the .363 mark after getting the pinch hit single at Montreal Sunday. Fastball taken a little bit high, ball 1. Jose with 9 homers and 67 runs batted in and 32 runs batted in. He is up among the league leaders in that department. He is 5th in the National League in stolen bases with 32. Here's the pitch to the little guy, and he takes it low. Ball 2, no strikes. Jose, by the way, is going to be appearing tonight out in Arlington Heights at the St. Peter Lutheran Church Layman's League Sports Night, starting at 8 o'clock. 2-0 pitch, swung out, a hard drive down the left field line. Stay fair. It does. Gets by the rookie left fielder. Here's Kestner scoring. Norn is waving. Morales to the plate. Here is a throw. DeGroody slides. He is out at the plate, and a beautiful throw. Cardinal winds up at second base. Jose drove that ball hard, about 15 feet inside the left field line. It took a hard bounce away from the rookie left fielder, Mike Vail. It brought in Kestner easily. For Cardinal, 68th run batted into the year. Let me tell you, that relay throw was right on target.
I got to give Phillips a lot of credit. He did not take a step. He played the relay like all shortstops should. Caught the ball, turned, and threw to the plate. He did not even take a step or two to release the ball, and Grody made a very fine tag.
He had him dead. Notice, Phillips took that throw, almost straddling the third base line out on the outfield grass. So the Cubs have a 1-0 lead on 3 hits here in the first inning, and Andy Thornton, batting .295, looks at a strike. His 16 homers, 1 less than Monday, and 55 runs batted in. He swings and fouls it back out of play. He is not connected for a home run, Thornton hasn't, since the 10th of September here at home against the Cardinals. Been getting a lot of singles. He had, as I recall, 1 double after that homer that day, and ever since then he has been hitting just singles. His batting average has dipped down somewhat. Fastball, and he leans back away from it. Ball 1, strike 2. And he's still having quite a year. .295 coming into this game today. The look at second by Craig Swan with 2 out. The 1-2 pitch. Cardell goes. Here's Grody's throw to third. He's in there with a stolen base. He got a great jump that time. And that gives Jose his 33rd stolen base of the year.
33 for
Let me tell you.
If you consult your notes, you'll see that he set a record.
Jose would
Now,
like to have that bag.
Yeah.
When he broke the record here for stealing bases, and he mentioned that on the road, that the next one at home, he's hoping that the ball club will present him with the base that he steals, and he's just stolen third base. He might pick it up and take it home without being presented with it.
It's the most by a Cub since 1903. Here's a swing by Andy and a high foul on the left field line, or maybe a play in the ball near the bullpen. Vail is there, and the rookie left fielder grabs it right near the wall to retire the side. Frank Chance, going way back to 1903, stole 67 bases for the Cubs. But this is the most by a Cub since that time. 33. Well, the side retired here in the first inning with a run on 2 base hits. 1 man left on the bases. And at the end of 1 full inning of play, the Cubs lead the Mets 1-0. Rusty Staub, great veteran of this ball club, steps in, hitting .278. He has 153 hits this year, 19 of them homers, and 101 runs batted in. That's a record for any Met. Just announced on Cardinal, Jimmy Enright did over the public address system about that stolen base mark. It is not an all-time Cub record, but it certainly, I would say, it'd have to be a modern one, even though most of the time when you talk about modern records, you go back prior to 1900. But who's going to quibble about 3 years, huh? First delivers, and Rusty, a big left-hander, takes a strike after looking at one low. He'll be followed by Kingman and Cranepool. Ray put him down in order in the first inning. Right-hander delivers a fastball, and Stop takes it inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Ed Vargo of this umpiring crew, the chief of them, is out of action with a bad throat. Bruce Fremming from up Milwaukee way, working behind the plate today in the pale blue short-sleeved sport shirt. It's not really all that warm out here. 62 degrees at game time at the ballpark, but a bright, sunshiny afternoon with a breeze coming in from the right field corner. 3-1 pitch, little low. And there's the first walk that Ray has issued in the last 19 innings that he's pitched.
He's improved terrifically in that department, Vince, and I think next year he should set his sights on walking less than 100 men.
Well, I'd go even lower than that, Lou. I'm looking at the right figures here. Yeah, it's only the 67th walk he's given up this year. Or are you talking about maybe 50 for next year?
Well, yeah, that could be.
Dave Kingman steps in, he swings, hits one down to Kester, should be 2. Over to Trio, here's the relay. Kingman, despite his speed, is out on the tag end of a double play. And that by the Cubs is 149 for the year. Right around the horn, Kessinger to Trio, to Andy Thornton.
You know, Kessinger has handled third base very well. He's made all the plays thus far.
Sure has. Done beautifully over there. So, nobody on. Here's Ed Cranepool, batting .322. But he has not shown much power this year. He does have 4 homers. And one just about 3 days ago. Big lefty takes, and that's a ball, a little bit low. Cranepool's batted in 42 runs. I signed him right out of the Bronx. And he takes that one low. Ball 2. Now to take in that sport night tonight out in Arlington Heights, which Cardinal will be appearing. Buy tickets there right at the door at the St. Peter Lutheran Church on West Olive Street. The ball 3. All of a sudden, he's having a little trouble in this game with his control. There's a fastball for a strike. Ball 3, strike 1. He got behind on Meon. Finally got him on a 3-2 pitch to bounce out. Walk stop to lead off this inning. 3-1 delivery. And he misses outside at the knees for ball 4. His second walk today. And with the Cubs leading 1-0 in the top of the second inning. Gary Grody, the veteran catcher, stepping in for the Mets. He's hitting .294. A couple of homers for Grody this year. 38 runs batted in. In case you missed it, the Cardinals in Montreal split that doubleheader up there last night. Cards won the first one, Montreal the second, so the Cubs start this homestand, the last 5 games of the year, 2 games in front of Montreal. Brody right-hander swings, he pops it up. Davey Rosello on the left side is there, so's Kessinger. It's going to be Don who makes the catch in the shortstop area. That retires Montreal, or New York, in the second inning, and they still do not have a base hit off Ray. One man left down in that inning, 1 double play, and a couple of walks. The Cubs have come to bat in the bottom of the second inning with Manny Trio to lead off, and the Cubs are leading 1-0. Manny Trio hitting .244 for the year. He has driven in 66 runs for the season and has 7 homers. Got his last one up at Montreal over the weekend. A little right-hander in there against Craig Swan, who fires a strike right at the knees. Rod Carew, who's the perennial batting champion of the American League. That's Curve that's in for a strike. Hitting .362 for the Minnesota Twins. going into their action tonight. That's 1 point below Bill Matlock, who leads the National League. Sidearm fastball misses inside. Both times now where Craig has been in front of the hitter, 0-2, he has wasted one in tight. 1-2 pitch. That's too low. Ball 2, strike 2. This guy is big and strong. Gave up 4 runs against the Cubs in 6 innings last Wednesday night at New York. 2-2 pitch. Half swing. The ball off his bat. Comes to the right side of the mound. Picked up by Greenpool. Throws to the pitcher covering, and they get him. A very fine play. And Swan coming off that mound in a hurry. Check swing by Manny. Brings up George Mitterwald with the bases empty. Veteran hitting just .219 with 5 homers and 27 runs batted in. Frank Robinson of the Cleveland Indians, it's been announced, has been signed for the 1976 season to once again manage the Tribe. They did not disclose the amount of money that Robinson is going to receive, nor did they say in that announcement yet whether or not he plans to remain as an active player or just as a manager next year. Indications are it would just be as a manager. Here's a swing and a miss on a good fastball. But Robinson done a good job with the Indians this year. First year as a manager. Back for next year. That's one that's a little low. Ball 2, strike 1. No decision yet on Johnny McNamara of the San Diego Padres. 2-1 pitch. Fastball too high. Ball 3, strike 1. That's a little surprising because the Padres, certainly without one of the better teams in baseball, to say the least, done a good job under McNamara. There's a swing by Mitterwald and a foul ball that's off the facade of the upper deck on the first base side. 3-2. McNamara considered by most baseball observers to be an astute manager. 3-2 pitch. Misses inside with a fastball. So Mitterwald with 1 out, trots down to first base. That'll bring up Davey Rosello with 1 away. He's hitting .269 with 14 hits since the Cubs brought him up. 5 runs batted in. Atlanta has yet to name a new manager. Feeling seems to be that Roy McMillan is not going to be back as manager of the Mets, serving in this interim period. There's a swing and a foul back out of play. Joe Torre says he has not been approached by the Mets front office about managing this ball club next year. But Torre said if he is approached, he definitely would be interested. Strike 1 pitch, a fastball a little high. Ball 1, strike 1. Mets had quite a scare last night as they embarked from LaGuardia Airport to come in here to Chicago. Had a bomb scare. 1-1 pitch. High and tight. Ball 2, strike 1. Apparently that scare was caused by a couple of teenagers who were apprehended. But they had to delay their departure for about an hour and a half while that chartered plane was inspected carefully. There's a swing, well hit fly ball deep to left field. Mike Vail back. Hey! It's a bell ringer for Davey Rosello, and the Cubs lead 3-0. Unexpected power from the little guy. Mitterwald gives him 5 in the hand and 5 in the seat of the pants as he comes up to the plate. His first Cub home run of the year. That brings up Ray Burris. Now carries a 3-0 lead. He's brushed back by a fastball. That for the Cubs, their 93rd home run of the season. 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled. Back out of play. Some firecrackers out there, huh? Back to 1972, Davey came to bat 12 times for the Cubs, got 3 hits, one of them a homer. 73, he had 10 hits, 2 doubles, no triples, no homers. Last year he had 33 hits, 7 doubles, a triple. And this year he's got his second career home run. There's a swing by Ray, and he bounces one down to Cranepool, the first baseman. And there are 2 gone. Let's pause a moment here for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio Chicago.
Davey Rosello with his second career homer, following the walk to Millwall, had given the Cubs the lead, 3-0. And Kestner, who singled and scored in the first inning, takes the fastball, and it misses in a little high. Ball 1. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau reporting here from Wrigley Field. Tomorrow the Mets will be here again. Kestner's walking over to get the towel with the pine tar and pitch on it. Thursday, there will be no baseball at Wrigley Field. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the Cubs say adieu for the 75 campaign, hosting the Montreal Expos, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 1-0 pitch. Sinks low, ball 2, no strikes. Wind up 2-0 delivery. He takes a strike, fastball. They play him to swing pretty late. They got the 2 Ks in the corner of their infield. Cranepool and Kingman at first and third. Swan in the windup. There's a fastball, low and away. Ball 3, strike 1. Let's see if he goes after this one. Here it is. He does, and he fouls it back up onto the screen. Ball 3, strike 2 to Don. Has 10 hits in his last 20 at-bats. Cub hitting and their run production this year has been excellent. There's a fastball too high. So he reaches again, and that's walk number 2 off of Craig Swan. They're about 3rd in the league, the Cubs are, in scoring this year, and that is mighty, mighty good. Their batting average as the team starting today is .260, and that certainly is good enough. But unfortunately, the earned run average of the Cub pitching staff is the poorest in the league, and that's where they're looking to make improvements for next year. Monday takes that one, it's a little high. Mets battling for 3rd place. A little extra money involved. 1-0 delivery. Swung on a miss. Good fastball. 1-1. This is Senior Citizens Day at the ballpark. Long-time Cub fan, we understand, is here today. Mr. Henry Waldschmidt, who lives in the north side. Check swing by Rick, and that one misses. He and Mrs. Waldschmidt, they tell us, are 89 years old, be married 67 years in January, and they never miss a Cub game on the radio. Now, isn't that nice? 2-1 pitch. Fastball fouled, out of play. And today happens to be Mrs. Waldschmidt's birthday. She's 89. Many more. Craig Swan fires, and he misses outside. Ball 3, strike 2 with 2 out. Kessinger will be going at first base. Handsome Jack Bloomfield coaching down there. Veteran Irv Norn in the coach's box at third for the Cubs. Kessner edges away. Swan delivers. There goes down, and it's ball 4, too high. Go with 2 out.
Summers is batting as Morales has complained of dizziness and an
Uh-oh.
upset stomach.
Champ Summers stepping in the pinch hit. And sorry to hear this report. Jerry Morales complaining of some dizziness and an upset stomach. When you talked with him on the leadoff man, Lou, he seemed to be all right.
Yes, he was all right. That's too bad.
It's a kind of a flu bug that been going around for the last week or so. Summers, a left-hander. Swan delivers. Champ takes the ball inside. Did he say he was not going to be playing winter ball this year?
No, he said he was. He was going to rest a little bit right after the season, then play winter ball.
He loves it. 1-0 pitch. Champ takes it to strike the letters. Summers plans to play some winter ball. Got a chance to drive in a run or two here. 2 gone, 2 on. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. One after a fastball away. Ball 1, strike 2.
Well, Swan today is a one-pitch pitcher. That's the only ball that he's been getting near the strike zone of his fastball. He's missed with his curve and his slider.
Got a good fastball, though. I'll say that for him. 1-2 pitch. And it misses. Boy, you can hear that thing pop into the mid of Grody all over the north side. Ball 2, strike 2. Looks like it's traveling about 88, 89 miles an hour, doesn't it?
It could be.
There's the curve. And he misses low. Ball 3, strike 2. Davey Rosello, a 2-run homer. His second in the majors. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, and hey, that ball is really tagged. Way out. Off against the lines. It just missed going into the seats. Chester and Monday score easily as Champ Summers would have had a bell ringer except for the fact that he was bucking that wind. And it hit up against the lines near the 368-foot mark, a 2-run double. Well, I tell you, most any other day, that ball is going to be up into the bleachers. Well over the head in the glove of Rusty Staub. It is now the Cubs 5, New York nothing. And Jose Cardinal stepping in with Champ Summers at second base. Give Summers 16 runs batted in for the year. That's his 5th double out of 21 base hits. Get some power. Jose takes the ball. Drove in a run in the first inning with a solid smash down the left field line. And a good play made by the Mets to throw out Morales, trying to score from first base on that double. He takes that one high, ball 2. Cubs with a 5-0 lead. They finally get the right number up in the scoreboard. There's a swing and a line drive, base hit into right field. Doran waving Summers around. Rusty stops, throw way up target on the third base side, and on that throw, it could not be cut off and bounced over the mound to the third base side of the plate. Cardinal, who drives in his second run of the day, winds up at second base, and that brings Roy McMillan out of there. He's had a right-hander throwing in the New York bullpen, and the Cubs have jumped on Craig Swan pretty good here today. Skip Lockwood has been throwing in the New York Met bullpen. McMillan, who has not been talked to yet by the Mets front office, if he has, about managing next year. If he has, he's keeping it a secret, to so are they. Points a thumb over his shoulder down to the bullpen as Bruce Fleming, the umpire, goes out there. So Craig Swan is going to be given the rest of the day off. And while we have the new pitcher come in, with the Cubs batting in the bottom of the second, leading 6-0, let's take time out for this message. Skip Lockwood, a right-hander, has been around for a while, relieved Craig Swan in the game against the Cubs in New York last Wednesday night. Pitched 2 good innings, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, no runs. And he's coming in to relieve Swan here in the second inning. Bases on balls proved to be pretty costly in this inning for Swan and the Mets. He walked 3 men. Mitterwald, who scored on Davey Rosello's first homer of the season and the second in his career. Then he walked Kessinger and Monday, and they both scored on Champ Summers' double. And then Summers tallying on the line single off the bat of Jose Cardinal, who's 2 for 2 today and has batted in 2 runs, giving him 69 for the season. Now Andy Thornton, who ended the first inning by fouling out near the Cub bullpen, steps in against this right-hander, Lockwood. Look at second, the pitch. Fires a strike. Lockwood's earned run average is a beauty, 1.54. Worked 41 innings and given up only 7 earned runs. Here's a stretch to pitch. Fastball low, 1-1. 1 save, 1 victory, and 2 losses. Cardinal at second. Lockwood a long look at him. He stole third earlier. Here's a swing and a fly ball to the center fielder. Dale Unser comes in. He's there and he's got it. But the Cubs bat around in the second inning and come up with 5 very big runs. 3 base hits in the inning, 3 walks, 1 man left on. So at the end of 2 full innings of play, it's the Cubs 6 and the New York Mets 0. Well, so far so good. Mike Phillips is going to be leading off for the Mets, 8th man in the batting order. We'll see whether or not Roy McDonald will go to a pinch hitter. After Phillips bats, he's hitting .258. And got him from the Giants early this year. Has 1 homer, 27 runs batted in, and Burris fires. He takes, and it's a strike. Tomorrow's game, of course, will get underway again at 1:30. Here's the pitch. Slow curve swung on, a drive out into left center field, and it's going to drop in there. Champ Summers comes over and cuts it off, but that's the first hit by the Mets off Ray. An opposite field line single. Tom Seaver is scheduled to go tomorrow in quest of his 22nd win of the season, and he'll be going up against the Cubs' Rick Russell. If Lockwood is going to bat for himself here, wants to go down to talk to Eddie Yost, the third base coach. The Friday game, of course, against Montreal, which will be Ladies' Day, will also start at 1:30. That means our network airtime on those 2 days, Tuesday and Friday, 1:25, and Lou and I will be on both days to talk a little baseball with you 15 minutes prior to that. Then the Saturday and Sunday games move up 15 minutes earlier. Here's a swing, ground ball. Kessler dives to his right. He knocks it down, gets to his feet, throws high. But Thornton leaps, comes down to the bag for the out. And a very, very fine play as Lockwood swung and doggone near pulled that ball by Kessinger, who was up on the edge of the grass at third.
That has to please Doris and Eileen, the co-presidents of Kessinger's fan club. They're rooting for him today.
Made a remarkable play. Great reflexes. On the play, Phillips goes to second base. But Lockwood robbed of a base hit. That brings up Dale Unser, the left-handed hitting center fielder. First looking at second. That one dips a little bit low. Ball 1. Friday is just another day to a lot of folks. Say, well, at least we can look forward to the weekend. Not just another day this Friday. Cubs' last ladies' day of the season. Here's the pitch. Well, after a little bit late, chops it foul back up under the screen. If you're a miss or misses, 14 years or older, it's going to be a free day for you. The last one of the season. All you gals, 14 or older, will be admitted to comfortable, unreserved grandstand seats on Friday. Absolutely free. Come on out. Cubs in Montreal. 1-1 pitch. Fastball misses inside at the knees. Ball 2, strike 1. Take advantage of it, gals. Following Friday, you'll probably say, boy, I wish I could go out to the ball game today. There's a swing and a line foul out of play down the left field side. Ball 2, strike 2. Runner at second, and the Cubs enjoying a 6-0 lead. Bruce, a long look at second base. Now comes to the plate. Misses low, ball 3, strike 2. In the month of September, the Cubs have won 11 and lost 10. Mets have done a little better than that. They've won 14 and lost 10 in this month. But the Pirates did it even a little bit better than that to clinch the Eastern Division. 5th time in 6 years the Bucks have done it. 3-2 pitch. He goes after a bad one. It's swung on a miss. Bitterwald dropped the ball, throws down to first base. Checked that runner at second before he did it. Announcer fans going after a very bad pitch. He's thrown out. Bitterwald to Andy Thornton. That's the first strikeout of the day by Ray. And his 105th for the season. His 8 complete games lead the Cubs staff this year. Bonham has finished 7 out of 36. Ray has finished 8 out of 33. There's Meon choking up with the bat handle about a foot. Crouches, peeks out over that left shoulder. Swings in the first pitch and golfs a high fly ball into shallow center field that Monday should corral. He's there, and he's got it to retire the New York Mets in the 3rd with no runs, 1 hit, a leadoff single, and 1 man left in the bases. So the Cubbies coming to bat. They batted around in the 2nd inning, put 5 runs on the board, chased Craig Swan, and they are leading at the end of 2.5, 6-0. Trio is going to be leading off for the Cubs against Skip Lockwood. And he started out the 2nd inning, bouncing out on a good play made by the Mets. Crane pulled to the pitcher. That time Craig Swan looked like it was going to be almost a routine inning. But George Bitterwald drew a walk. And Davey Rosello had the thrill of belting a home run up into the bleachers in left field. First pitch to Trio, ball. There's a swing and a drive down the right field side, over for to Staub. He dives and he tumbles and holds onto the ball with a very fine one-handed catch by the veteran Rusty Staub. He prevented that ball from going down to the corner for extra bases, and who knows, it might have been an inside the park homer, and the big guy flipped all the way over. And managed to hold on to it. A very fine catch. It brings up Mitterwald. And he takes a little low, ball 1. Rookie Joe Wallace, by the way, was released from the hospital. Been in there for a couple of days over the weekend with that bad knee. There's a strike call. They're not sure whether or not Wallace might be able to play as a starter in the lineup over the weekend against Montreal. Marshall said he could pinch hit with Wallace today or tomorrow. 1-1 delivery. And Mitterwald gets out of the batter's box, looks at Fromming, and if looks could kill, Brumming would be laid out right now. He comes barking back to him. He thought the pitch was too high. But it's 1-2. All right, get bad and hit one out, George. Here's the pitch. Well, he tried to, and he pops it up. Second baseman Meehan calling for it. And he's got it. Base is empty. That'll bring up Davey Rosello. Cranked out his first home run this year and the second in his career. And of course, he's only been about a few times in the previous seasons that he was up with the Cubs. He may be the shortstop of the future for the Cubs. Crouch is low at the plate, and he takes it low, ball one. It would appear that Jim Marshall, here's the pitch. He takes it low, will be back as manager of the Cubs next year, but there has been nothing official on that. Pitch. Davey takes it to strike. Ball two, strike one. Cubs are breezing here, leading 6-0. Fastball, and he has to twist out of the way. Delivery coming up to Davey. He goes after it, fouls it back in and out of the upper deck. Back down on the net. All three, strike two. Lockwood working in relief. And he's now pitched a total of 1 inning today. 3-2 delivery. He misses low, ball four. Ray Burris, a good hitting pitcher. He grounded out after Rosello's homer in the second inning for out number 2. But then Kissinger and Monday drew walks. Champ Summers came in when Morales had to be taken out of the game, complaining of a little dizziness and an upset stomach. And Summers almost hit a 3-run homer. Said it was a 2-run double. And then he tallied a moment later on Cardinal's second hit of the day. First pitch, a strike. Ray about 6'5". Let me tell you, he's in good shape. Straightaway stance. Looks at a strike over the outside corner. He could wind up today with his 16th win against 10 losses. 0-2 delivery. Takes a cut at it. Fouls it back. Over near the grandstand seats in the first base side. Oh, 2 delivery. And he leans back away from it, but it's called a strike on the inside corner, and that retires the side. First strikeout by a Met pitcher today, and the Cubs in the third. No runs, no hits. Leave 1 man on. We have finished 3 innings of play. And out here at Wrigley Field, the Cubs are enjoying a lead over the Mets of 6-0. Well, our first 3 innings today brought to us by the Buick dealers of Chicagoland and Northern Indiana. We're going into the 4th inning on this bright, sunny September day. Sure wish you were here with us. And here's Lou.
Cubs out in front, 6-0. Vail, the young rookie, will lead off for the Mets here in the 4th inning. He'll be followed by Staub and then Kingman. Burris is ready. Vail fly deep to right field first time at bat. Here's a swing and a one-hopper to Kessinger's right near the line. He bobbles the ball, and it's a fair ball, but a base hit, as Don quickly moved to the foul line and knocked the ball down. That is the second hit off Burris. Now here's Rusty Staub at bat. Fellows made a sensational catch in right field. Diving catch. off Manny Trio's bat. Staub walked in the second inning. Thornton playing behind the base runner. First pitch by Burris on its way. Swinging a line drive, base hit to right field. Bale round second base and will hold up as Cardinale gets that ball in quickly. Staub didn't wait. Went after the first pitch and hit a frozen rope right out to right field. Runners on first and second now, and here's Dave Kingman at bat. Hit into a double play, first time at bat. Around the horn, Kessinger to Trio to Thornton. Burris looks in, gets a sign, checks back at Bale at second base. First pitch now to Dave Kingman on its way. Fastball for a strike taken by Kingman. No other action to report in the major leagues this afternoon. Cubs, of course, play Kingman the pull. Strike one pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike two. Burris out in front of Kingman. 0-2. Nobody out. Mets runners on first and second as they try to get back into this ball game. Cubs lead 6-0. Burris' 0-2 pitch now to Kingman. A let up, and he swings and misses. What a fine pitch that was. A let up, and Kingman was far out in front of it, striking out. Second strikeout for Burris. Now with one out, here is Ed Kranepool at bat. Kranepool walked in the second inning. Burris looks in, gets his sign from Mitterwald. Rosella moves in behind the base runner at second. Now Burris is ready, and the first pitch is a strike called. Fastball over the outside corner. Burris, once again, taking a little time. Checks the runners on the bases. Now here's the strike one pitch on its way to Kranepool. And Kranepool swings, pops it foul in the upper deck. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network. One out. Met runners on first and second. 2 strikes on Kranepool. Burris has his sign, the pitch. Outside, missing the corner, it's 1-2. Tonight, Philadelphia will be at Pittsburgh, St. Louis at Montreal, Cincinnati at Houston, Los Angeles at San Diego, San Francisco at Atlanta. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kranepool as he levels the batter with the plate. Bale, the youngster, lead at second. Staub off first. Kranepool swings, lines a base hit into right field. In comes Cardinale. He charges the ball. They hold up Bale at third. Here's the throw at the plate. A beauty. And fortunately for the Mets, Yost held up Bale at third base, or he would have been a dead duck on Cardinale's accurate throw to Mitterwald. 3 hits in the inning. All told, 4 for the Mets, but they haven't dented home plate yet. Now with 1 out, here's Jerry Grote at bat. Grote popped out first time at bat. Cubs hoping for their second double play of the game. Burris is ready. First pitch. A swing, a ground ball. Kessinger dives. It's past him. Into left field. 1-0. The ball gets beyond Summers. Now the second run will score. Kranepool holds up at third. Only 1 run would have scored. It's a base hit, 1 RBI for Grote. And on the air by the left fielder Summers, Staub scores. Score now 6-2. Favor of the Cubs. Now here's Phillips at bat with runners on second and third, 1 out. Phillips single into left center, first time at bat. Cubs infield deep. They will give the Mets 1 run to get the second out. First pitch, strike called over the outside corner. Donnie Moore and Schultz warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Phillips levels the bat over the plate, batting left-handed. Here's the stretch by Burris. Here's the pitch by Burris. There's a swing and a foul onto the net. Strike 2 on Phillips. Pitcher due up next. So Burris working carefully on Phillips. He tosses the next one high. Ball 1, strike 2. Cranepool is on third. Grote at second base. 2 runs in. Burris takes his stretch. Here's the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. Swinging a fly ball to left field. Cranepool's tagging up. Summers is back on the warning track. He gloves it for the out. Cranepool will score without a play on him. Grote remains at second base. It's now 6-3 in favor of the Cubs. Now, Lockwood is called back to the plate. Now, Milner is coming out of the dugout to bat for Lockwood. Milner is having a very poor year, batting 192, 7 home runs, 29 RBIs. Left-handed hitter. 2 outs. 3 runs in. Cubs still lead 6-3. Burris is ready. He sets. Checks Grote at second base. The pitch. There's a fastball for a strike right down the middle. Mets have been taking that first pitch on Burris. He's been getting it in the strike zone. The 1-strike pitch from Burris. Milner swings, lines that ball right to Trio at second base. Hit the ball well, but right at Trio. In the 4th inning, 3 runs, 4 hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. At the end of 3.5 innings of play, Cubs 6, Mets 3. New Met pitcher is another right-hander, Baldwin, on the mound. This is the 3rd pitcher that McMillan has used thus far in this ball game, and we're in the 4th. Baldwin has a 3-5 record, earned run average of 3.42. This is his 53rd game, all in relief. That's the highest on the Mets staff. Pitched 91 2/3 innings, allowed 91 hits, walked 33 men, 4 intensely, and has struck out 48. He will face Kessinger Monday and then Summers. Cubs lead cut in half. It's 6-3 now. Kessinger singled in the first inning, walked in the second. Kessinger's batting average has been rising. It's up to about 247, 248 right now. First pitch is a strike called on Don. He levels that bat over the plate. Baldwin is ready. Strike one pitch, and Kessinger takes outside. 1-1 the count. A lot of folks think Kessinger may be traded during the offseason. Here's the pitch. Swing and a tap foul into the Met dugout behind first base. One ball, two strikes. Fourth inning. Mets will be here tomorrow afternoon. The pitch by Baldwin, sidearm, fastball outside, ball two. And then Montreal will close out the season Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 2-2 pitch. Kessinger takes outside, ball three. 3-2 the count. Hunter moves over into left center for Kessinger. Kessinger takes inside for a ball. Kessinger has walked twice. He's singled once. He's been on base 3 times. He has scored 2 runs. And he's been a star in that infield. Now here's Rick Monday at bat. Flied out to the left fielder, Vail, and has walked. Cranepool will hold Kessinger on at first base. Baldwin keeps an eye on Kessinger. Here's the pitch. Swinging a one-hopper. Cranepool leaps, but the ball was off of the foot of Monday, and it's called a foul ball. And Tata, looking at that ball, shows Baldwin where it came off of the foot and leg of Monday. And you know very well, Fromming will throw the ball out. Tata gave it back to Baldwin, and Tata now says it's playable. Even the 2 umpires having a little discussion. Fromming takes a look at it and throws it out. And had Tata been smart, he would have done the same thing. But Tata wasn't, and he gave the ball back to Baldwin for play. Usually, normally, if the ball hits the foot of the hitter, the umpire will toss it out immediately. Here's the pitch to Monday. He attempts to bunt, but misses the pitch. Strike 2. Kessinger at first, nobody out. Baldwin gets his sign from his catcher. Now the pitch on its way to Rick Monday. And he checks his swing, but he's called out on strikes as that ball just nipped the outside corner. Monday thought the ball was outside. Remained in the batter's box for about 2 seconds. And then decided to give Fromming the call and go to the dugout. 1 out. Summers, the hitter. He doubled in 2 runs in the second inning. Kessinger extends his lead at first. Now he stops as Baldwin checks him and throws to first base. Kessinger, with cat-like moves, gets back safely. Baldwin into the stretch. Checks Kessinger, the pitch. Here's a swing and a line drive down the left field line. Vail moving over. He reaches out and dives and makes a fantastic catch. A great backhanded catch by Vail. That ball was practically beyond him. A great catch by the young rookie in left field, robbing Summers of an extra base hit. We've seen 3 great plays. One by Staub in right field, and this play by Vail, and the third one by Kessinger at third for the Cubs. Now with 2 outs, here's Cardinale at bat. 2 for 2. The pitch by Baldwin, sidearm fastball, low, ball 1. Cardinale kidding Matlock in the clubhouse today, telling Bill, you better get back into that lineup because he's going to catch him. He said if this season was extended 1 more week and you're sitting it out, I will catch you. There goes the runner on a hit and run. Almost hits Kessinger, but he ducks out of the way of that line drive and advances to third base. Beautifully executed hit and run by Cardinale. And only quick reaction by Kessinger got out of the way of that line drive. And with his speed, he advances to third. Cardinale, 3 for 3. That is the 7th hit of this game for the Cubs. Now with 2 outs, Andy Thornton. We'll see if he can add to the 6-3 lead that the Cubs have over the Mets. Grote talking to Baldwin on the mound. Thornton thus far flied out to Vail in left, and he's flied out to Unser in center field. Mets have been giving ball clubs 4 and 5 outs, and that's been their trouble in the last month. Here's the stretch by Baldwin. The pitch, sidearm fastball, tap foul as the ball hit Thornton's bat on a half swing. But 2 outstanding catches here today. One by Staub and one by Vail. Certainly is no indication that they have quit and are merely going through the motions. Here's the 1-strike pitch now to Andy Thornton. It's outside, ball 1, strike 1. Cubs lead 6-3, 4th inning. Baldwin gets his sign, checks Kessinger at third. Here's the pitch to Thornton, pops it up behind the plate. The wind may carry this out of play. It does. It's back onto the screen. Thornton gets another chance. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Andy. Well, it seems strange that this weekend closes out the 1975 season, but then it won't be long and we'll be down in Scottsdale, Arizona for spring training. That can't come too soon. The pitch to Thornton. He swings and fouls that ball right into the glove of Grote, striking out. No runs due to a great, fantastic catch by Vail in left field. 1 hit, 2 men left on the base paths. At the end of 4 complete innings of play. Cubs have 6 runs, 7 hits. The Mets 3 runs on 5 hits. Well, Vince, before Unser steps in the batter's box, I think we ought to tell the folks that you and I had quite an experience in the office of the customs director in Canada, and we were really interrogated there about our friend Wally Phillips. And I think Friday we'll have more time to really tell the folks all about that. Here's a swing and a tap over the pitcher's head. Trio behind second has it. Throws to first. He gets him. He gets him on a very fine play. Unser going down that line very quickly, but Trio moving quickly to his right and then throwing cross body tosses out Unser for the first out. I'm telling you, I was quite frightened. He was serious.
It's the first time, that ever been interrogated by customs people. And I suppose if we hadn't had those bag tags on that indicated we were from WGN, they probably never would have stopped us. But seeing that, something came on immediately in this man's memory, and he remembered Phillips trying to go through there the last time, and that was some session.
Yes, it was.
I don't know
for 2 hours we were held up.
Yeah, I don't know what will happen to him if he ever goes back up there.
Well, he seemed to be using
but I'm
2 or
looking
3
forward
names.
to it.
Yeah, I hope he gets through. But if they ever catch him, I understand that the bulletins, he told us that it was on a charge of 501 and 505. Here's the pitch now to Meehan.
Those 501 and 503.
Is it 3? 501, 503.
Yeah. They threw out the 505, I guess.
Oh. Well, I know there were several infractions that he was... Here's a pitch. It's ball 3. No strikes to Meehan.
List there, a page and a half long, for heaven's sake.
They've sent out bulletins to customs directors. Here's a pitch. Inside ball 4-2. Not only Canada's, but also Paris, Rome.
I guess that's where it started.
In Paris?
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't understand the man. He was very angry. Well, Friday we can talk more about it. Marv Grissom, pitching coach of the Cubs, has noticed that Burris going into his old habit of stopping in his delivery before he releases the ball. Consequently, it's 2 complete wind-ups, and Grissom is going out to remind Burris as he walked Meehan on 4 pitches. Now here's Vail at bat. He's hit the ball well twice. Flied out deep to right, and he's singled. Burris is ready. The pitch. High. Ball 1. Meehan on first base. Nobody out. Vail levels that bat over the plate. Here's the ball 1 pitch to him by Burris. Swinging a fly ball deep to left center. Well hit. Monday after. He's going to grab it. On the run and on the warning track. The ball was sinking, fortunately for Monday and the Cubs. 1 out. Now here's Rusty Staub. Two outs. Unser grounded out. Here's the stretch and the pitch now to Staub. He takes low, ball 1. Top of the 5th inning, Cubs lead 6-3. Staub, 1 for 1. He walked in the 2nd inning. Here's the 1-ball pitch now to Rusty. He swings, gets a base hit past Thornton into right field. Meehan will advance to 3rd. Cardinale makes sure he fields that ball and gets it into Trio. So the Mets now have runners on 1st and 3rd, and the tying run at the plate in the person of Kingman. Kingman, 0 for 2. Burris looks in, gets a sign from Mitterwald. Checks the runners. First pitch on its way. It's a strike called by Fromming. Right over the letters. Kessinger deep at 3rd. Rosello deep at short. Once again, Donnie Moore, a right-hander, and Schultz, a left-hander, start warming up in the Cubs bullpen. Kingman jumps back from an inside fastball. 1-1 to count. They work Kingman in and then go away with that breaking pitch. Make him reach for it. Here's the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch. Curveball, pop foul. Back of the plate, out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Dave Kingman. Meehan at third. Rusty Staub at first. 2 outs. Kingman levels that bat over the plate. No time for a mistake here. The pitch on its way. Swinging a line drive down left field line, curving. Fair ball into the corner. 1 run will score. Rusty Staubs rounds third. He's going to try to score. Here is Summers' throw into Kessinger's no play at the plate, and Staubs scores. It's a 1-run ball game now. 6-5 Cubs, and the Mets have the tying run at second base. They are fighting back. A line drive double down the left field line, and Kingman now has 87 RBIs. He's at second base with a tying run, and Cranepool the hitter.
The base hit, 2 RBIs.
6-5. Mets now with a tying run at second base. Burris is set. Looks back at Kingman. First pitch now to Cranepool. Fastball and a swing and a fly ball to center field. This should be easy for Monday. He's there. Pounds the glove. He squeezes it for the out. But the Mets scoring 3 in the 4th and now have come back with 2 in the 5th. And they're right back in the ball game. 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 man left on base. At the end of 4.5 innings of play, we have a ball game. It's Cubs 6 and the Mets 5. Trio will lead off the 5th inning for the Cubs. He shot a line drive about 15 or 20 feet from the right field foul line, and Staub moved over and dove and made a one-handed sliding catch. Now he'll bat with nobody on base and leading off the 5th inning. Baldwin into the windup. Sidearm fastball, a swing and a line drive to left field. Bale moves quickly over to his left and in a few steps and grabs it for the out. One out. Mitterwald, the hitter. First pitch by the tall right-hander. Sidearm fastball for a strike. Baldwin is a side wheeler. Mitterwald walked in the 2nd inning, popped out. To Meehan in the 3rd. Here's the strike 1 pitch on its way. Strike called, another sidearm fastball over the outside corner. Cubs lead 6-5. They did have a 6-0 lead at one time. 2-strike pitch. He checks his swing, but the ball tipped the bat, goes into the catcher's glove for a strikeout. 2 outs. Here's Rosello at bat. 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. Walked into 3rd. The momentum of this ball game has just changed completely around. Cubs early, Mets in the middle of the ball game. Here's the first pitch inside, ball 1. Let's hope the Cubs get that momentum started in the last portion of this ball game. Ball 1 pitch. Strike call on a sidearm fastball. 1-1 to count. Kingman at 3rd, even with the bag. Phillips at short, Meehan at 2nd, Cranepool at 1st. The pitch by Baldwin. Rosello fakes a bunt, takes the pitch inside and low. Ball 2, strike 1, 2 outs, nobody on base. 5th inning. The pitch by Baldwin. Swing and a line drive right to Kingman. Ankle high. Kingman gloves that ball to retire Rosello and the Cubs in the 5th inning with no runs, no hits, nobody left on base at the end of 5. Cubs 6, New York Mets 5.
Cotton Bogren and his groundskeeping crew has tidied up the infield now. And let's see if the Cubs can stem the Mets. Been on the move in the last 2 innings. Picked up 5 runs on 6 hits against Ray Burris. Jerry Grody, the catcher, is going to lead off. He's 1 for 2 today, singled in the 4th, and drove in Roger Vail with their first run of the day. He's to be followed by Mike Phillips, and then the pitcher. Let's see whether or not we'll get a pinch hitter. Burris winds up. Fastball, and he missed the outside corner. Oscar Zamora recently celebrated a birthday. Had been warming up down the left field line, but left-hander Ken Frayling is out there now, along with Donnie Moore. There's a strike. Ball 1, strike 1. Grody, over the years, has hit well against the Cubs. Good catcher. Veteran checks his swing. Burris misses a little low. Ball 2, strike 1. Let's pause for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network.
This is WGN Radio, Chicago.
Now he gets a sign, starts the windup. 2-1 pitch, strike called. A beauty. Ball 2, strike 2. Tom Seaver goes against Rick Russell here at Wrigley Field tomorrow. Last game between the Cubs and the Mets. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we end the year against Montreal. 2-2 delivery. Little bit low, ball 3, strike 2. Ray not as sharp today as he has been in his last 2 or 3 starts. Had a little problem with his control. 3-2 pitch. He reaches out after it, hits it off the end of the bat of the first base side. Andy Thornton has it, waves Burris away, comes over and stabs the bag for the out. Grody chasing the pitch away from him. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Mike Phillips, with a very colorful, bright red golf club in his right hand. Batted in a run with a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning and singled leading off the 3rd. But he was left stranded. Pinch hitter Johnny Milner grounded out. Puncher struck out. Here's a swing and a fly ball going out to Monday in center field. Rick reaches up. He hauls it in. And there are 2 gone. The bases are empty. And Brock Pemberton, whom they just recalled from their farm club at Tidewater. He had another good year. Tall, well-built young man. Is going to pinch hit for Baldwin. Pretty classy name, isn't it? Brock Pemberton. Came to bat one time against the Cubs in the 2-game series at New York last Wednesday and Thursday. Did not get on. Tall left-hander. That's a pretty high in his future. Burris' first pitch, a big swing and a miss. Strong left-hander. Bases are empty. The Cubs with a 6-5 lead. And we're in the 6th inning. That's a little bit low. Ball 1, strike 1, and that time Pemberton wouldn't chase it. At about 6-2, 6-3. Straightaway stance for him. Burris delivers. He goes after that fastball around the knees and misses. Ball 1, strike 2. He likes that low pitch. Wind is getting a little bit stronger coming in from right field now. There's a fastball. Mitterwald thought they had him struck out. Nope. Bruce Frumming working behind the plate. Did it miss the corner? Ball 2, strike 2. Each team with 7 hits, 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed for strike 3. That time he came up to him. 3 up and 3 down. Strikeout number 3 in the ball game for Ray. And the Cubs come to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning at Wrigley Field. Burris is to lead off, and the Cubs are still leading 6-5. New pitcher now for the New York Mets is Bob Apodaca, another right-hander. Baldwin did a good job, worked 2 innings, up a walk and a single. No runs against him. And Skip Lockwood, their second reliever, an inning and a third. No hits, 1 walk, a strikeout, and no runs. Cubs did all their damage so far against starter Craig Swan. Knocked him out in the 2nd inning. Apodaca, black-haired, rather swarthy young man. Right-hander looks down to get his sign, starts the windup. Here's the pitch to Ray Burris. Checks his swing, it misses low and outside, and Grody fires it back in a hurry. He keeps the pitcher on his toes out there. Here's the wind up the pitch. Another fastball swung on, and a drive to Rusty Staub comes in right field, and he makes the catch. Don Kessinger will be the batter. Been on base 3 times today. Singled and scored in the 1st. Walked and scored in the 2nd. Walked in the 4th. Got as far as 3rd. Mets have already taken the season series from the Cubs. Beaten the Cubs 10 times. The Cubs have 6 wins over New York. Here's the pitch. Strike called in the outside corner. Wind up. Swing on a let up, and he bounces it down to Cranepool, the big veteran first baseman who has it easily for the unassisted putout. That's the first time Don has been out of there today. Apodaca with an earned run average of 1.48. There was something. 1-2, lost 3, been in 44 games in relief. Allowed only 13 earned runs and 79 innings of work. Has 13 saves. Leads the Mets in that department. Monday stepping in against him, Rick walked and scored in the 2nd. Is 0 for 2 officially, and he swings and misses at that one. Mets earned run average as a staff is an excellent one. 3.39. Compare that with the Cubs of 4.53. There's the ball, a little bit low. Ball 1, strike 1. Wind up in the delivery. That sinks a little low. Ball 2, strike 1. The Cubs with a blend of youth and experience on this ball club. Offensively, we know they can do the job, and defensively, too. It's a pitching that's got to come around next year. There's a strike call. 2-2. Two-two delivery. That's a little low. Ball 3. Strike 2 to Rick. Walk that Monday got today is his 81st of the year. And that's his 82nd. That pitch is low. For ball 4. Brings up Summers, who replaced Jerry Morales. Jerry, after singling his first time at bat today, to leave the ball game complaining of an upset stomach and dizziness. Summers came to bat and drilled a 2-run double in the 2nd inning, and then hit a shot down the left field line, of which Rookie Mike Vail made a super tumbling running catch. Left-hander takes a strike on the outside corner. Andy Thornton is second on the ball club and drawing walks. 80 of them starting today. Summers swings and misses. Oh, did he want that one? He really jumped at that. Strike 2 count. 2 out. Bundy at first base. The Cubs with a 6-5 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning against New York. Bob Apodaca delivers. Summers takes strike 3 over the outside corner. He's not pleased at all with that one. Bundy is left stranded. No runs, no hits, 1 man left. So at the end of 6 innings of play, the Mets come to bat against Ray Burris. It is still the Cubs 6 and the Mets 5. Dale Unser, the leadoff man, moving in here as the Mets come to bat for the top of the 7th inning at Wrigley Field. Gene Heiser is now patrolling left field for the Cubs, replacing Jose Cardinal, or replacing Stamp Summers out there. Burris' first pitch, and it's a little bit low to Dell. Bundy in center field. Jose out in right. Thornton at first, Trio at second, Rosello at short, the veteran Kessinger at third. George Mitterwall behind the plate, and Burris delivers a breaking ball that stays up high and away, ball 2. Wind-up by Burris, and Unser takes it's a little bit high. Ball 3, no strikes. He's kept Unser off the bases so far today. Last time on a beautiful play by Manny Trio, who gloved his ground ball actually on the shortstop side of second base. Trio pitch. Takes the fastball, and there's a strike. Sox lost in 16 innings last night to California, 3-0. And Adrian Garrett, formerly with the Cubs, a home run in that 16th inning to give the Angels the victory. There's a fastball, strike 2 called, 3-2. Red Sox at New York tonight, and Baltimore hosting the Detroit Tigers. Unser stepped out of the batter's box for a moment. Baltimore still 4 games off the pace of Boston. 3-2 pitch, swung on, he lashes one foul down the left field side. Tim Hosley, somebody hollered a warning to him, hit the dirt out there. He's in the bullpen. Bottom doing a little throwing out there, along with Darrell Knowles. Tomorrow's Tom Seaver for the Mets against Rick Russell. Here's the 3-2 pitch, swung on. A drive down the left field line. Gene Heiser on the bicycle going way down into the corner. He can't get to it. It's over his head. He picks it up out of the corner, and Unser is on with an opposite field double hit hard. That's the tying run at second base with nobody out, and the Mets' 8th hit of the day. Unser came into the game hitting .424 over a period of his last 59 at-bats. He's been a hot hitter. His first hit today, and his 18th double of the year. Now Felix Millan, the batter. Felix today has tied the club record of 157 games played in a season. And that record, strangely enough, or ironically enough, was set by his skipper, Roy McMillan, when Roy, in the latter days of his playing career, was with these New York Mets 10 years ago. Then Bud Harrelson equaled that record of playing in 157 games. It's a Met record back in 1970. Leon, next game he plays after today, will have the new Met record all to himself. Marshall going out to talk to Burris. Now Jim going back into the dugout. 6-5 score, Cubs leading. Led 6-0 at the end of 4. Yet the Mets have come back. Here's a scrappy Meehan, who is adept in a spot like this at advancing that runner to third base. Burris delivers. He goes after it, and he hits it down the right field line. It's going to drop in there for a base hit. Cardinal against the wall picks it up, and Eddie Yost holds the runner at third. The throw to second base, he slides, and he is safe at second. Leon going the opposite side, and the ball dropping just inside the right field foul line. He does that, Lou, about as well as anybody in the business.
Very well, and it just gives you an indication that you don't have to bunt, don't have to sacrifice with a man like that. Fortunately for the Cubs on the double, Unser only advanced to third.
Yeah, Eddie Yost playing it safe. That's going to be all for Ray, with runners at second and third. Successive doubles here, back-to-back doubles, but nobody scores. That's their ninth hit of the day. And Bonham is coming in from the bullpen to work in relief. With the score of the Cubs 6, the New York Mets 5, we have a delay in the action. Let's take time out for this message. This for Bonham is his first relief appearance of this 1975 season. Last year, he was in 8 games in relief. And in 73 with the Cubs, he was in 19 games in relief, started 15. His first season with the Cubs, he was used primarily in relief. That was in 71. He's got his work cut out for him. Tying run at third, the go-ahead run at second, and the rookie Mike Vail stepping in. He got a single and scored in the 4th inning. Had a deep drive to Mundy in the 5th inning. Is 1 for 3 today. A right-hander, the infield, halfway in on the left side and just about all the way in on the right side. And Bonham's first pitch is a fastball low. Bill with a 13-14 mark for the year and a high earned run average of 4.56.
Oh, Bonham. Time is called. Dear, I was a little angry. I thought he balked. He stepped back. I didn't hear the umpire call time.
He better not balk. Not in this spot.
No. We need about 3 strikeouts right here.
He leads the club in that department, by the way, with 161 strikeouts. Here's the pitch. Low with a fastball. 2-0. He was not impressive in his last outing at Montreal over the weekend. 2-0 pitch, and it's a ball. Ball 3. Thought earlier in the year when he threw a brilliant shutout against the Pittsburgh Pirates at their ballpark that he was going to be on his way. But he has never really been consistent this year. There's a pitch that's low for ball 4 to load him up. 4 pitches. That's going to be all for him in his first relief appearance of the year. With Rusty Staub, a left-hander due up, Darrell Knowles is coming in from the bullpen to work on him. Oddly enough, Darrell's been most effective this year, not against southpaws, but against right-handers. But he's going to be called upon here to face Rusty Staub with the bases loaded and nobody out. So we have another delay in the action. With the score, the Cubs 6 and the Mets 5. No Darrell Knowles. In his 55th appearance of the season facing Rusty Staub. Infield is really set for a double play ball. First pitch to Staub, and he takes a strike on the outside corner. Rusty's been on base 3 times today. Walked in a couple of hits, and he scored 2 runs. Knowles' next pitch, he swings and fouls it back up onto the net. Strike 2 count. Dave Kingman due up next, and he's to be followed by Jerry Grody. Back-to-back doubles by Unser and Mian. And Bonham coming in, and on 4 pitches, walking Vail to load the bases. And there's nobody out. Staub, a tough hitter. Here's the pitch. He got a piece of it, fouled it, back over to the Mets bat boy. Rusty with a Met record of 101 runs batted in, more than any other Met in a season. He guards that plate tremendously well. Hands way out over it. 0-2 pitch to him. Chases one that hits it down to Kestner. Comes to the plate to middle wall for one. Relay. Not in time for the double play. But they get the force out at the plate. Bases still loaded. 1 gone. Now Dave Kingman. So far today, he is 1 for 3, a double, driving in 2 runs in the 5th inning, giving him 87 for the year. With 35 home runs this year, Dave is second in the National League in home runs to Mike Schmidt of the Phillies, who has 38. Greg Luzinski of the Phillies, 34, followed by Johnny Bench with 27, Parker of the Pirates with 24, and Ron Say of the Dodgers also with 24. Infield back. Here's the pitch to Kingman. He takes a strike on the inside corner. Good fastball. While Knowles has a high earned run average, his pitching in the clutch in the 8th and 9th innings when he's come in with runners in scoring position has been the best of any of the Cub relievers. Swings and misses on that one. Gave it to him down and in. Darrell into the stretch. Here's the pitch to Kingman. And he missed the outside corner. Ball one, strike two. And he wasn't just trying to waste it. Meehan tying run at third. The lead run at second, rookie Mike Vale will stop at first. Here's a pitch, swung on, and missed. And he gave him a beautiful breaking ball, right in on him. And Knowles has come up with a big strikeout. Two gone, bases still loaded. And the score is still 6-5 Cubs. Dick Cranepole is to be the batter, but he's going to be lifted for Joe Torre. Repeat that Torre, in answer to a question today about the possibility of Torre becoming the next manager of the New York Mets, said yes, he was interested. No, he had not been approached by the Mets front office. Swarthy veteran had a 300 career average coming into this season. I bought him, of course, from the Cardinals at the end of last season. And he made the tour to Japan with the Mets following the 74 campaign, and he was a tremendous hit. I mean that literally over in Japan. Even though he's been with this ball club just a very short time, they have a great deal of respect for him. He has 88 hits this year and 352 at-bats, 6 homers, 35 runs batted in. Knowles' first pitch, and Torre takes it to strike. Let me tell you, if they can get out of this jam, without a run scoring, it will really be something. Back-to-back doubles and a walk. Now 2 gone, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Torre swing, the high chopper, third base side. That's trouble. Kestner, barehand pickup. And they are going to call it a foul ball. Thank heaven, because that could have been an infield hit that would have tied up the ball game.
It hit Torre on the foot.
Thank heaven. It's a little bit like the one on Monday, a couple of innings back. When he started down the line, the Mets thought they had the out on him, but it was ruled a foul ball off his foot. So the count, with the bases loaded, 2 outs, strike 2 on Torre. Now the windup in the pitch, and he takes strike 3, and what a job Knowles has done. What a job. Came in with the bases loaded. Nobody out. He got Rusty Staub. He hit into a force out at the plate. He struck out Dave Kingman swinging, and he strikes out the pinch hitter Joe Torre looking, and the Mets do not score. 2 hits, a walk, and 3 men left on in the top of the 7th, and the Cub fans at Wrigley Field applaud the veteran as they stand now for the 7th inning stretch, and the Cubs are still leading 6-5. Let me tell you, you may never see a better relief job than that one. Torre is staying in to play first base. And Jose Cardinal stepping into the batter's box for the Cubs against Bob Apodaca as our ball game moves to the bottom of the 7th inning. Jose 3 for 3 so far today. And Apodaca's first pitch to the right-hander misses low, ball 1. Wind up by the right-hander. Jose takes a fastball for a strike. 1-1. Just a brilliant job by Darrell Knowles. Can't come in with a tougher situation. Bases loaded, nobody out. There's a check swing. The ball hits his bat, rolls out to Torrey at first base. He tosses to Apodaca, and the pitcher gets the put out. On a check swing, that's the first time today they've gotten Jose. Let's pause a moment for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network. Andy is 0 for 3 today. Fouled out down to the bullpen, flied out to center field, and he struck out against Baldwin his last time at bat. He's facing Apodaca for the first time today. Fastball low, ball 1. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau reporting here at Wrigley Field. The Cubs leading 6-5 over the Mets. Tomorrow they'll be here with Tom Seaver to pitch against Rick Russell. 1-0 delivery. That's too low. Ball 2. Ken Sanders is going down now to the Mets bullpen to warm up. Wind up by Apodaca, and Thornton swings hard. There's a drive down the left field line, but it goes foul into the box seats. He had a good rip at that one. Frank Robinson has been signed to manage the Cleveland Indians for next year. Contract terms were not disclosed. Here's the windup, and the 2-1 pitch to Andy. Fastball high and tight, ball 3, strike 1. At this point, the Indians, who've been playing some pretty good ball lately, are just 1 game below the 500 mark in the American League East. 3-1 pitch, goes after it, fouls it back, out of play. They have a chance at catching the New York Yankees and finishing as high as 3rd in that Eastern Division. They're 2.5 games behind the Yankees. And no chance of dropping down below the spot they're in right now, 4th place. 3-2 pitch. Swung on, he got a piece of it, fouled it off of Grody, the catcher, who's shaken up on that one.
443. 2443.
Paid attendance today, just announced.
601. 2601.
Paid attendance, 2,443. That's trainer out here to minister to Grody, and now manager Roy McMillan coming out to check on him. Cubs at just about 1,014,000 at home for the year now. It's the 8th successive season that the Cubs have drawn over 1 million. Brody's still on his knees down there. On a check swing, caught the foul ball off of Andy Thornton. Putting on the mask and is going to stay in the ball game. Total in the house, 2,601. That includes Carmen Fanzone, back on the scene in Chicago, but not in uniform. Full count on Thornton with the bases empty and 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Apodaca delivers. Swing, and a foul that's way down the left field side, out of play. Cubs have 1 home run today. A 2-run shot off the bat of Davey Rosello. Wind up, and a 3-2 pitch swung on. There's a drive down the left field line. Mike Vail coming over near the wall. Does he have room? Ball is in foul territory down there, right up against the wall. And Thornton trotting back down the line, and Dutch Rennert, who, like Bruce Fromming, the plate umpire, comes from the Badger State of Wisconsin, really showed a lot of hustle on that one. He was way out there by the Cub bullpen to make that call. Cubs got a single run in the first inning of starter Craig Swan. And with the help of some walks in the second inning and 3 base hits, including Trio's homer, they got 5 runs in the second inning. And Chase Swan. They batted around. But the Mets came back with 3 in the fourth and 2 in the fifth. There's a check swing on a ball that hits his bat and winds up in the box seats just below our booth here. Oh, it's still 3-2 on Andy. Cubs end the season here this weekend against the Expos, playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3-2 pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball to the left fielder. Mike Vail comes trotting in, shades his eyes for a moment from the sun, and he makes the catch, and he was having a lot of sun trouble. 2 gone. Here's Manny Trio. Robbed of a base hit by Rusty Staub. When he led off the third, very fine catch by Staub. Manny today is 0 for 3. The relievers have really done the job. At the ball, a little bit low, ball 1. They've had 1 hit since Craig Swan left the ball game. And that was a single in the 4th inning. There's a ball, ball 2. They also had a brilliant piece of relief pitching by Darrell Knowles, who came in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and nobody scored. 2-0 pitch. Swung on and missed a fastball in on Manny. Lozinski is going to wind up leading the majors in runs batted in with 119 right now. And the ball in too tight, ball 3, strike 1. Leading the American League, Johnny Mayberry of Kansas City with 103, 1 more than the rookie with the Boston Red Sox, Fred Lynn. There's ball 4. So Trio, with 2 out, draws a walk, and that brings up the catcher, George Mitterwald. Walked and scored on Rosello's homer. Was popped up and struck out. 6-5. Cubs leading the Mets here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a second walk, by the way, off Apodaca. Here's the pitch to Mitterwald, and he takes it. Just misses, ball 1. Few shadows now stretching out near the third base foul line and covering the foul line down in left field. 1-0 delivery on its way. Swung on and fouled sharply back. Ball 1, strike 1 on George. Those of you in Chicago, Lou and I will be starting our coverage of the Big Ten football schedule 1 week from this coming Saturday. Our first Big Ten game broadcast feature that between the Michigan Wolverines and Missouri. Buck out. Pick-off throw to first base, and they almost got Trio leaning the wrong way. Matter of fact, Joe Torre down there questioned that call by Terry Taylor. He thought he had him. edges away again to a pretty good lead. Another throw and a hit first dive back in. Outside of Cardinal, the Cubs have just had no real base stealing threat at all. Here's the pitch. Too high. Ball 2, strike 1. But Jose with 33, the most by a Cub since Frank Chance back in 1903.
Trio may be going after his stolen base of the day right now.
I'd like to see him start running on those bases, Lou. Seems to me he ought to be able to get some stolen bases. There he goes. Mitterwald on the hit and run, swings and fouls it back out of play. It's hard for me to understand. He has good enough speed, but he's been thrown out 7 times out of 8 attempts this year.
The lead is very important on stolen bases. You're going to have the speed, but you better get a good break off first base.
It's a good lead right now. 2-2 pitch. There he goes. Mitterwald swings, and he hits Trio in the legs with that line drive. Caught him in the leg. And Manny was so close to second base that ball actually hit him from behind, and it has stung him. He give the base hit to Mitterwald, but Trio, he is out, of course, being hit by a batted ball in the bases, and that ball has really hurt him. He may have to leave the ball game.
He failed to take a glance at the hitter, Vince. That's what you must do. He just kept running, and he was watching Meehan, who was going to cover second base.
Yeah. Credit Meehan with the put out on it, and credit Mitterwald with a base hit. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left on the bases. They're tending to Trio out there, and we got a hunch they're going to have to take him out of this ball game. We hope not. That ball was hit sharply. Caught him on the left foot, I believe, or right near the left ankle. And the score at the end of 7 full innings of play remains the Cubs 6 and the New York Mets 5. All right. We're now going into the 8th inning. And Trio, that trainer of the Cubs, spray that left foot of his where he was hit by that shot. Put the shoe back on. Got a little joshing from Jose Cardinal. And he's going to stay in the ball game. Jerry Grote, who's 1 for 3 today, drove in a run with a base hit in the 4th inning, is going to lead off against Darrell Knowles, who did just a super job coming on in relief in the 7th. Right-hander takes, and there's a strike on the inside corner. Wind up. Left-hander delivers, and there's a foul line shot into the box seats down the left field line. Bases were loaded with nobody out. All he had to do was get the 4th, 5th, and 6th men in the batting order. And he did it. Forced play at the plate, and then 2 strikeouts. And he misses a little high with that one. Ball 1, strike 2. Darrell in the windup. Rudy won't chase that pitch outside. Ball 2, strike 2. Baseball tomorrow finds Tom Seaver going after his 22nd win of the year against Rick Russell of the Cubs. 2-2 delivery. He hammers one past Knowles. He just missed getting it in the glove, and Grote is on with a hard line single right past the pitcher. Shortstop, Mike Phillips due up. But Harrelson is going to bat for him. Once more, Harrelson has been plagued by injuries. We're going to have a pinch runner for Grote down there at first base. Bob Gallagher, and outfielders coming in to run at first. That's the tying run there. Harrelson has only been in 31 games, has 15 hits and 68 at-bats. 2 of them doubles, 3 runs batted in. Wiry right-hander, and he takes quite a wide stance in there. Chokes up in the bat about 3 or 4 inches. Knowles looking at first at Gallagher. Steps out the pitching rubber. Cardinal shallow in right field for Harrelson. Monday has come in several steps in center. Now the pitch. Squares away for a sacrifice. Jumps back from a fastball low and inside. Ball 1. The pitcher due up next. Stretch by Knowles. Harrelson's going to butt. Pushes one foul. Comes back behind the plate. Paul Russell throwing in the Cub bullpen now, along with Donnie Moore, a right-hander. Six to 5, Cubs lead. Runner at first base with nobody out. Here's the pitch. Harrelson's going to butt, pulls that bat back, and that's a ball inside at the letters. 2-1. In that 7th inning, the base is loaded. Knowles got stopped to hit into a force play. Kessinger to the plate. Then got Kingman's strike. There's a throw to first, but Thornton was up on the edge of the grass, so they had no chance for the pickoff. Runner getting back safely. And then Joe Torre pinch hit, and he was caught looking at strike 3. Two-one delivery, and Harrelson squares away, but he takes it high. Ball 3, strike 1. He's had one pitch so far that he could try to sacrifice, and he fouled it back. Cardinal has come in even closer, and so is Monday. Step and a throw to first base. Gallagher back safely again. Here's a stretch, 3-1 pitch. He pushes a butt foul on the first base side. Now the count is 3-2. Let's see if they'll just let him swing away. It's not like Harrelson, Lou, to foul off.
This is that he's trying to bunt. He's a very good bunter. He has a good eye at that plate, too.
He is studying Eddie Hill's sign for quite a while. Hills flashes to him and then looks over at first base to be sure the runner there got it. And Harrelson says, "Hey, give that to me again, will you?"
A little slower.
Now we're ready. 3-2 pitch. Runner doesn't go. He pushes the butt out towards the mound. Knowles flips it out of the glove, gets it into his bare hand, makes the play at first base. But Harrelson with 2 strikes out. He made sure that time that he got the ball in fair territory. Sacrifice puts the tying run at second and brings up Johnny Stearns, catcher. He's batting for the first time today. 31 hits and a 189 batting average for Stearns. Into the stretch. Stearns, a right-hander, takes, hits outside. Ball 1. 6-5. Cubs are leading in the 8th. But the Mets have out hit the Cubs 10-8. And they've got the tying run, Gallagher at second with a big lead. Knowles looks at him, comes to the plate. Stearns takes the strike. Good fastball. At home, the Cubs this year, 4 games over the 500 mark. 1-1 delivery. Checks his swing. It just missed. Ball 2, strike 1. Tough pitch for Stearns to take. But he got the call from Bruce Froemming. 2-1 delivery. It's low. Wasn't close at all. Ball 3, strike 1. Darrell stepped off the pitching rubber for a moment. Now looks down again. Dementerwall for his sign. 3-1 pitch. Swung on, a drive into left center field. It's going to be in there for a base hit, and the ball game is tied up. The ball got by Monday. Here's Stearns going into second base with a pinch hit double that makes it 6-6. He made that one a little bit too good. Line double to left center field. The ball game is all tied up. And Dale Utzer, a left-hander, steps in. He started the 7th inning with a double. Stopped at third on Meon's double. Bonham came in relief for the first time this year on 4 pitches. Walked Vail to load the bases. There's the first pitch, and Unser won't chase it. It's low and outside. Then Knowles came in and performed the heroics, getting the side out without a run. But here, a single, a sacrifice, and a pinch hit double. And it's all tied up. Here's the pitch to Unser. Goes after it, and he fouls it out of play. Looked like he'd made up his mind to go after that one immediately. Well, that's nice. Andy Frayne, ushering chief down there, caught that foul ball, and he flipped it to his brother. Yeah. One pitch, swung on, and a soft little liner going to Davey Rosello at shortstop, and there are 2 gone. Now Felix Meon. Trying to go to right field in the 7th inning with Unser at second and nobody out. He did it so. But with nobody out, Eddie Yost didn't want to gamble, and he held Unser at third base. And that's where he was when the inning was over. Shadows now at home plate. Tough hitter here. Knowles misses outside, and he wants another baseball. Cubs at one time led 6-0. Now it's tied, and the Mets have the go-ahead run in scoring position with 2 out in the 8th. 1-0 pitch. It takes, it's a strike. He already owns the Mets record for base hits in a season. He's 1 away from tying his own record. There's 184 right now for the year. There's a swing and a foul ball way down the right field side. Ball 1, strike 2. The double that he got was his 35th of the season. Leads the Mets in that department this year. He's played in every single game. One-two delivery. Way outside and low. Ball 2, strike 2 to Felix. Well, the Mets bullpen crew had gone out into right field to retrieve an old ball that got out there. Gets it into the bullpen. Runner at second, 2-2 pitch, swung on. He hammers a line drive, base hit down the left field line, and the Mets are going to take the lead. Here comes Gallagher around to score, and Felix Meehan lines a single to left field, driving in the go-ahead run. It's now 7-6. Mike Vail is to be the batter, but he will not face Darrell Knowles. Paul Russell is coming in from the Cub bullpen. The Mets now have out-hit the Cubs 12-8, and they have fought back from a 6-0 deficit to lead 7-6. We have a delay in the action at Wrigley Field. Let's take time out for this message. Over. Mike Vail, an infield single in the fourth inning and scored. He walked against Bill Bonham on 4 pitches in the 7th inning to load him up. Darrell, who did such a super job in that 7th, caved in here in the 8th, and now Paul Russell will see what he can do about stopping the Mets. Vail, a right-hander, and he takes the first pitch high, fastball. Three hits in the 8th, and they have regained the lead. 7-6. That sinker, it's a little low. Ball 2. Paul got tagged with a loss in Montreal in his last outing. He's 1-3 now, with 5 saves since the Cubs brought him up. This is his 28th appearance. Here's the pitch, swung on, and a crack bat foul ball over in the first base side. It is way back out of play behind the Mets dugout. Roger Vail goes over to get a new piece of lumber. Meehan with 2 hits today. He's tied his club record. The next one he gets, and he will establish a new record for Met player. Base hits in a season. Right-hander Ken Crosby and left-hander Ken Frayling have been throwing in the Cub bullpen. Kessinger over to talk to Russell. Mets are not a running team, really. They've got 31 stolen bases as a team this year and have been thrown out 24 times. There's a big swing and a foul ball. Back out of play. It's 2-2 with 2 out. Runner at first base. Dave Kingman leads the Mets with 7 stolen bases, and he's been thrown out 5 times. Here's a swing and a drive into right field. It's going to drop in there in front of Cardinal for a base hit. And Meehan, after hesitating at second, now goes to third. Now let's not let this get out of hand. Rusty Staub is going to be the batter. Let's see if Russell will stay in to face him. That's their 4th hit in the inning. Now time is called again by Marshall. He wanted Paul to get that right-hander to get the inning over with. And Marshall just now approaching the pitcher's mound while Frayling continues to throw in that bullpen. Let's pause a moment here for station identification. This is the WGN Chicago Cubs Baseball Network. Frayling trotting in from the bullpen. Vince Lloyd and Lou Boudreau here at Wrigley Field with Al Aldrich, our engineer, and Jack Minovich, our producer. And the Mets have taken the lead, 7-6, 2 out, runners at first and third, while Frayling warms up. Let's take time out for this message. Frayling, a left-hander, still finishing his warm-up tosses. Going back a ways here to find out when's the last time he got into a ball game. So far, I'm back into the month of August.
Anything inside to stop with a left-hander, and especially with a man at first base and the first baseman holding him on, Staub will try to pull that ball. He's done it successfully twice going into right field today.
Well, let's see if Fairleigh can get him. Sunday, August 24th is the last time Kenny got into a ball game. Pitched 2 1/3 innings against Houston here. And a first pitch of ball. Gave up a hit, struck out 2, no walks, no runs.
Attention, Ken Fairleigh's last appearance was August 24th.
Must have heard us. They just repeated here on the intercom. There's a strike to Rusty. Ball 1, strike 1. Well, it's been almost a month tomorrow since he got any work. 2 on, 2 on. 1-1 pitch swung on, and there's a base hit. Neon comes jogging up the line. As Rusty Staub drives in his 102nd run of the season. That old bugaboo, the bullpen. Go ahead in the 7th. Knowles was just absolutely super. That's going to be all for Fraley. Makes his first appearance in a month, throws 3 pitches, yields a run-scoring single, and he'll take the rest of the day off. Now Donnie Moore will try his luck. He'll be facing Dave Kingman with runners at first and second. 3 runs here in the 8th. And it's now the Mets 8, the Cubs 6. Let's take time out for this message. Donnie Moore making his 3rd relief appearance. He's made 1 start. Spent the year at the Cubs Farm Club at Midland, Texas in Double-A ball. There's no 1-loss record with the Cubs. Worked 8 1/3 innings. 4 earned runs against him. 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. And he's yielded a homer. So New York fought back from a 6-0 deficit. Now have taken an 8-6 lead with Dave Kingman, the batter. Doubled in 2 runs back in the 5th inning. Has struck out twice. Once with the bases loaded when Darrell Knowles came on in relief. Moore, a solidly built right-hander. And the first pitch sinks a little low, ball 1. He is the Cubs' 6th man to go out on the mound today. Burris, who had been pitching superbly, just didn't have it today. 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on, and a towering fly ball to Heiser in left field. Gene comes circling in, gets under it. That retires the side. Three runs, however, and 5 base hits. 2 men left on. So the Cubs come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. With the score now, the New York Mets 8, the Cubs 6. Score a run since the 2nd inning. They had 2 hits since then. Just a few changes being made here. Rookie Roy Steger is now at 3rd base. Harrelson is at shortstop. Meehan remains at second. The new pitcher, Ken Sanders, the right-hander. Torrey over at first base. With Vail, Unser, and Staub in the outfield. Davey Rosello, after looking at the strike, takes that one low and away. Ball one, strike one on Davey. Was a 2-run homer today. Sanders fires high. Ball two, strike one. Couldn't hold a 6-0 lead. 2-1 delivery. Swung on a miss. Sinking fastball. 2-2. Come on, Davey. Let's get those runs back. Sanders in the windup. He swings and grounds one to Harrelson. The shortstop has it, straightens up the peg to Torrey. One gone to the bottom of the eighth. Now batting for the Cubs, Joe Wallace, who did not make the road trip to New York and to Montreal because of a bad left knee. He had a little bit of an infection in it from some bad teeth. But he's going to pinch it right now. The exciting young man, natural left-handed hitter, batting .286 with the Cubs with 14 hits in 49 at-bats. Had a super year at Midland and then at Wichita. One of his 14 hits a homer, and 2 triples and 2 doubles. He injured that knee, sliding into third on a triple, and then hurt it again the next day, sliding into the plate. First pitch, a strike. There's a lit-up that's low. Ball one, strike one. Solidly built Joe Wallace. Here's the pitch. Swung on, a ground ball left side. Backhanded by Harrelson. He tries to. It gets by him. Goes into left field, and that will be a pinch hit signal for the rookie, Joe Wallace. And it brings up Don Kessinger, who singled in the first inning, walked in the second, walked in the fourth, grounded out in the sixth. One away, runner at first, and the Mets fought back from a 6-0 deficit to lead 8-6. Sanders' first pitch swung on, and Harrelson has that ball go under his glove, and Meehan can't believe it. Got both hands up over his head. Oh, no. That looked like it's going to be a double play ball, Lou.
Yes, indeed. You don't see Harrelson do that very often.
Sure. Of course, he hasn't been playing much this year because of a raft of injuries. He had that glove down, and somehow the ball eluded it. Would have been an easy double play. He is charged with an error. First one by the Mets today. That's a bit of a break. Let's capitalize on it. Here's Rick Bundy. He is 0 for 2 officially. There's a swing and a miss on a good fastball right in his eyes. Tying runs are on base here in the bottom of the eighth. Come on, Rick.
Well, the Mets fought back from 6 down. Maybe we can fight back with only being 2 down.
We better. Sanders delivers. Bundy swings a hard drive into left center field. That ball is out there, but Unser has room, and he makes the catch on the warning track. Wheels the throw into second base. Wallace advances after the catch to third.
That was a smart play by Unser, realizing that the tying run was on first. He didn't care anything about the lead run, so this is an indication that he knew the situation if a ball was hit out to him to keep the tying run from getting into scoring position.
Gene Heiser stepping in. Hitting in the third spot, where Morales started the day with a single. And Summers came in, and he had a 2-run double. And was robbed of a base hit by Vail. And here's Heiser. Replaced him in the outfield. We need a hit. Heiser batting .242 with 15 hits for the year. Swings, and he lofts a high fly ball. Here comes Zenser in at the full gallop. He's there. Reaches up, and he hauls it in, and the threat is ended. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on the bases. At the end of 8 innings of play at Wrigley Field, the Mets still lead 8-6. The new pitcher for the Cubs in their 7th of the day is Ken Crosby. Came out of the Cardinal organization for Eddie Solomon. Ken, a tall right-hander. Been in 6 ball games, worked 10 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs. Struck out 6 in 10 innings, or struck out 5 and walked 6. Is no saves, no won and lost record. Joe Torre is to lead off here for the Cardinals. And the pitcher, Ken Sanders, should be batting second. No, it'll be Stager, I'm sorry, who came in to play third base.
Number 39, Ken Crosby.
When the Cubs got Crosby for Solomon, he was pitching for the Cardinals at Tulsa. And he went down to Wichita for a while. And he looks a little like he's got a good live arm.
Yes, Grissom likes him tremendously. Very loose, good fastball, and it's a moving fastball.
I suppose about the time we'll heap a little praise on him, Torrey will hit one out here 10 miles.
Well, tomorrow we'll talk to Chuck Coney about him. He can give us the dope.
Yeah. That woke him up down there, by golly. There's a swing by Torrey, and he lifts a fly ball into right center field. Monday coming on, and he grabs that ball belt high on the run. Wound up in shallow right field. Torrey came into the ball game as a pinch hitter in the 7th with the bases loaded, and Darrell Knowles got him looking at strike 3 to retire the side. But Darrell got into trouble in the 8th. And he stands to be the losing pitcher unless the Cubs can rally. Here's the rookie, Stager, who did a great job for the Mets at Tidewater this year, as did Mike Vail, their rookie left fielder. Vail was leading the league in runs batted in when they brought him up, and then Stager took over the leadership. Powerfully built right-handed hitter. Takes, and it's a ball outside. Only been about 14 times since they brought him up recently with 2 hits, one of them a double. There's a swing, and he chops one down to Kester. Gets it on a tricky short up. Takes a step, fires to Thornton. And Stager, who can move down that line, is still out. 2 gone. Now Harrelson stepping in. He got in as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning and sacrificed. Catcher Johnny Stearns due up next. Hitting in the 9th spot. There's a swing and a miss by Harrelson. Good fastball up to him. Cubs led 6-0 after 2 innings. But the Mets just kept coming back. Got 3, then 2, and then 3 more in the 8th. There's a fastball, strike 2. They continue to have a whammy on the Cubs. 0-2 pitch. A little bit low, ball one, strike two. Difference today is in the work of their bullpen. Haven't been able to score off of any of their pitchers outside of the starter. There's a curve for strike three call. And Crosby does the job. Faces three men, gets them down 1-2-3 in the top of the ninth inning. Now let's see if the Cubs, with 3 outs left, can rally. A score as we go into the bottom of the ninth at Wrigley Field. The New York Mets 8, the Chicago Cubs 6. Jose Cardinal, Andy Thornton, and Manny Trio are to be the first 3 Cub pitchers here against Ken Sanders. And he was out for a while with an injury this year. Johnny Stearns, their catcher, Torrey, Mian, Harrelson, Staker, the rookie, comprising the rest of the infield. The rookie in left field, Mike Vail, Dale Unser, the veteran in center, and Rusty Staub in right. And Jose Cardinal, who doubled, singled, and then grounded out, steps in. He's batted in 2 runs today, and is 3 for 4. Right-hander delivers a swing and a miss. Almost lost his batting helmet. Ball game approaching the 3-hour mark. Been 23 hits, 14 by the Mets. There's a swing and a drive to Vail in left field. The rookie is there, and he's got it. Hard hit, but almost right at him. Here's Thornton, who's 0 for 4 today. Come on, Andy. His long ball power has deserted him here in the last 10 or 11 days. There's a swing, and he chops a foul ball third base side. The highlight of the game so far has been the great relief work in the 7th inning by Darrell Knowles, who came in with the bases loaded, nobody out. Got a force play at the plate and then struck out 2 men. But the next inning was disaster. Sanders just now getting back up in the rubber to get his sign from young Johnny Stearns, his catcher. Fires and it misses outside. Ball one, strike one. Andy had his batting average up to a little bit over 300 for a while. He starts today hitting 295, but he's dropped a point or two. There's a ball outside. Ball two, strike one on Thornton. Feet pretty close together for the right-hander. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and bouncing ball, gloved by the pitcher. Takes a couple of steps, throws to Torrey, and they're 2 gone. One hopper right back to Sanders. And here's Manny Trio, the last hope of the Cubs today. Well, if the Mets hold on to this one, it'll be quite a feather in their cap. They were down by 6 runs. Their bullpen has really done a job. Since Lockwood came in the 2nd inning, we've had no runs, 3 base hits. First pitch, a strike. That's a fastball very high over his head, 1-1. Trio reached once on a walk in the 7th. And he looks at that one a little high. Ball 2, strike 1. Mitterwald in the on-deck circle. If he can get up, he's got the power to tell. There's a swing and a fly ball into center field. This game is going to be over. Unser is there. That's it. Off the low pitch, and it's 3 up and 3 down, and the Mets rally and bail this one out. Final score, New York 8, the Chicago Cubs 6. Well, a pretty sad ending to what was a very promising start. But the Mets bullpen did the job. Cubs could not hold the Mets in. Mets 8 runs, 14 hits, 1 error, 9 left. The Cubs 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 9 left. Apodaca, who pitched 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, gets the win. He's 3-3, and Darrell Knowles, and his first inning in relief was just absolutely super, but he suffers a loss. He's now 6-8, and it only took 2 hours and 49 minutes.